So, my guess is you're rocking it at work. You know what you're doing, you get in there, you have a plan, you bring your absolute best, and your best is impressive. Really, people notice you, they know who you are, they know what you're capable of, and they're in awe of you. If you're here, I know this describes you. You are a hotshot, and everybody sees it. And you might even be a little intimidating to other people who don't seem to have it all together in the same way that you do. You've got the skills, you've got the strategies, and you've got the drive and commitment to do it. It's impressive. And here's the thing, you are exceptional. You have high standards for yourself, and you deliver over and over again at work. So I'm wondering, what would happen? What might happen if you take all those skills that make you really badass in your career and apply them to your own well being? Maybe you're already doing it, but what I've seen in 12 years of concierge coaching, and frankly, observing my own life, is we tend to use our greatest skills, our superpowers, and we use them and we leverage them well in our careers. And like I said, we get noticed. Yet we kind of skimp, right? We skimp when it comes to our own well being, the ability to strategize, the ability to follow through, to really just do remarkable work. So, badass at work comes to ourselves. And this is true of the best of us. It's just somehow we tell ourselves that we're not going to possibly jeopardize our reputation that we've worked so hard to build. And you have. That's legit. We wouldn't dare skimp at all when it comes to our professional lives. The stakes feel really high. So we continue to just dust ourselves off every day and bring that elevated version, that just rock star version to our careers and our work. Yet when it comes to our personal life, like we said we were going to exercise and something has to give, and it's us, right? And a really busy day, our career or our habits that are exclusively, we tell ourselves, for our own, betterment, well, we can't afford it, we often tell ourselves. In fact, instead, we have got to just put our all into our work. And whatever we've got left, well, we'll throw a crumb in our own direction. And you know what? The trick is we get away with it for a long time, and then we don't. See, we're borrowing future energy. We don't have all the energy that it takes to be like that driven at work, right? And then like we just have nothing left. We're on fumes when it comes to ourself. And if something has to give, well, it's going to be us because we can. We're the only one in that arrangement. We're not going to disappoint anybody but ourselves until we sputter, until we reach the limit, till the credit card bill of our energy comes due. And we don't have the money or the energy to pay it. We are depleted. So I'm wondering, why do we accept mediocrity when it comes to our own well-being, but we would never lower ourselves in those standards of mediocrity in our careers? That's absolutely unacceptable to us. But on the exercise, the sleep, the nutrition, the mindfulness, the rest, we just let that go until we can't. And that was my story for a long time. I just kept getting away with it. In college, you pull the all-nighters, and I figured I could do that forever. I didn't understand that at some point, I wasn't going to have much left to give, much less to really bring to my career. The only time that it started to get my attention, that is when, I remember, I think it was, oh yeah, I forgot an appointment. I don't do that. I really don't do that. I'm sure you don't either. That's when it was like, oh my gosh, my lack of sleep is putting my career, my professionalism, my reputation that I have worked very hard to build, my brand, so to speak, in jeopardy. That's what got my attention. Not all the symptoms. They were just gnats of distraction. But it was when all of a sudden I realized I'm actually threatening something I've worked so hard in my career for so long to build. So I want you to just consider where you are on this front. the skills and the expertise that you bring to your business, I'm wondering if it's the same level that you bring to yourself. There's a quote, and I'm not going to do this right. I think it's Martin Luther King who says, wow, I have such a busy day. I'm not doing justice to this, so be kind to me, doing the best I can here. But I remember it, and the sentiment is, I have so much to do today that I better pray longer, right? Like, what? Right? It doesn't matter what your religious practice is. The bottom line is, I have so much to do, I better slow down. That is, I love that, because that challenges everything, every way that I've led my life. It challenges that. And I love that it just stops me in my track and say, wait a minute, is there another way? Like actually slowing down when we're in a frenzy, that I'm actually going to get more done? Yeah, yes, you are. So here we want to bring that same exceptional standards and start applying it to ourselves. And you know what happens? You transform your life. See, I work with people like you. I work with the high achievers, the doers, right? They already have the entire skill set that I need for them to be successful in a massive b.nourished transformation. I look for it. I actually suss it out during our discovery calls. Like, does this person have this skill set already? The determination, the will, the ability to focus, the ability to get things done. They're dispersing it everywhere else, but they're not bringing it closer to home. That the closer we get to ourselves, the habits that most relate, that are exclusively for our well-being, or so we tell ourselves, right? That are just about us, we might deem as indulgent or a luxury that we'll get to later once we've done everything else. By the way, the later never comes. But the habits that get closer and closer to us, that's when we skimp more and more. We just tell ourselves, yeah, I'll get to it later. And again, the later never comes. So if that's you, if that resonates with you in any way, I want you to ask yourself, what would it be like if I use some of those skills? Those skills that make me so successful in my work, and I actually apply them to myself. We spend time strategizing in our business, and my guess is you're really good at it, right? We have a plan. It's what we do so that we know we need a plan. We need to be intentional and deliberate about how we invest our time at our work. So why aren't we doing that for ourselves? Do you wake up with a plan? You might for your work, but what about for you? What is that plan for you? If we are not planning our lives outside of work as much as inside of work, if we're not planning our lives, then we're actually acting out somebody else's plan. We're asleep at the wheel. We haven't stepped into the authorship of our own lives. So here's the chance. Let this be the wake-up call. The moment where you renegotiate the relationship you have with yourself and say, you know what? Mediocrity in the way that I show up for myself, that's beneath me. Mediocrity is beneath me. I don't accept it anywhere else. And I'm not going to accept it in the way that I treat myself. Try that one on. Let me know how it goes. Thanks for listening.